Okay, all right. So we are live on Facebook now. And let me start the recording also. Okay. Om Agyantimirandasya Jnananjala Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advait Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Radhanath Swami Iti Namine. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. All right, so so the first offering will be by Anand Vrindavan Devidasi.
Hare Krishna.
You'd like to switch on your video?
No.
Okay.
Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimati Radhanath Swami Iti Namine. While hitchhiking, Maharaj traveled to many places like Greece, Europe, and then wanted to come to India in search of Guru. At immigration, first his visa was rejected, but later Maharaj promised the visa officer that one day he will give something valuable to India. And as we can see, Maharaj, he really has given so much that, I mean, it's unbelievable. So what Maharaj has given us, Radha Gopinath temple, the beautiful congregation, the amazing eco village, even if now, recently, due to this coronavirus, we couldn't go to Vrindavan Dham. But last month, we all went to Vrindavan during Kartik month, that is eco village. So it was such an amazing feeling that we didn't feel that we are not in Vrindavan. So Maharaj has really created amazing thing like the eco village, the Barsanai camp, amazing experiences of Barsanai camp. Then the yatras, the yatras are so amazing. We can really associate Maharaj through his Vani, Vapu, amazing kirtans, delicious prasad. He has amazing kirtans. So Maharaj has given so much. And Radhanath, the meaning of Radhanath is like relationship focused. Like we can see how Maharaj really emphasizes on devotees to have very strong relationships. A is attractive. He's very attractive through his lectures, kirtans. B is very dear to Prabhupada, determined, and has really dedicated with strong sadhana. He's very humble and very simple. A is affectionate. He's very affectionate even to his disciples and non-disciples like me. N is nourishing. Like we can, if we every day hear his lecture, we can really nourish the good qualities and really advance in devotion through his lectures. He's very accommodating. He has accommodated every type of devotee with his compassion. T is like traveling around the world. Even his health is not good. He doesn't care for that, and because he has so much compassion, like he keeps traveling. And H is like humorous. We can see sometimes Maharaj is so humorous in his lectures or dealing with his devotees. So I just pray to the lotus feet of Maharaj that Maharaj, please eternally keep me in your shelter through your Vani, Vapu, and someday I can please you. And yeah, thank you so much. Your video is off, Mike.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I was saying that Maharaj says, please me by pleasing the devotees or my representatives. So for you, I am the representative. And so if you please me, then Maharaj will be pleased.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So thank you, Anand Vrindavan Devidasi, for your nice offering. And so now I request Alisha Mataji.
Hare Krishna. उपख्यातिभिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः. Actually, I was just listening to Maharaj's class. So
Your voice is breaking.
Perfect ending to that class. Is it okay now?
No, still breaking.
Hang on, I think so. Oh, can you hear me now? I think my battery is way too low and
Yeah, but
that's the reason.
probably you have network problem. That's why your voice is breaking.
Should I continue? If I don't know how to change the setting.
Okay,
Is it
but
okay now? Any better?
yeah, I mean, we can hear, but the disturbance is still there. Yesterday, okay, you did not
Okay.
speak.
No,
I just want
actually,
to.
the thing is my phone is connected to the
Sorry.
because in my home, maybe that's why there's a problem.
Yeah, there is a problem. Okay.
Hang on, wait, what I'll do is I'll log off and log in again. I'll leave the
Yeah.
meeting and join again. Maybe it should help.
Yeah,
Just give
yeah,
me a
you can.
moment.
Yeah, you can try that. Okay, so Aritra Prabhu, are you ready?
No, Prabhu, not yet.
Anyways,
Yeah,
I mean, I
I'm
think
not.
you'll have to be ready in, because we don't have, I had invited some more speakers also, but I think maybe they are,
Okay.
so how
Yeah,
long will
okay,
you
I
be
can.
speaking for?
Not much. I had something prepared which I had sent to the team also who was collecting the offering from
Offerings.
devotees.
Yeah.
So what did I say there? Okay. So
Okay,
basically I was
let's see. Once again, Alisha Mataji has re-entered.
okay.
Let's see if she is able to connect again.
Hare Krishna, is it better?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, yeah, I think it was because the phone was connected to speakers. Yeah, so
I wanted to share something, I really thank you for giving me opportunity to speak about Lord Chaitanya's visit to Vrindavan. Today, when I heard the class in the beginning, Maharaj started with that. I think you must have heard. So it was such a amazing coincidence.
yeah, I know Maharaj, he's always in the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yeah. I would like to share with everyone. I just heard that Maharaj actually he's in Dallas currently, and since last 6 to 8 months he has been residing in his apartment. And what he's doing? Anyone knows?
No.
Book.
Yeah,
Writing book.
Okay, so Maharaj is actually sitting down for 10 hours continuously and writing book on Lord Chaitanya.
I thought it was on GEV. No?
No, this is what I heard from Krishnanand Prabhu's offering today.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's amazing, no? He said that he's so much absorbed in writing the book. He's spending almost 10 hours every day.
Wow.
Not only 2-3 hours a day, but 10 hours he's just sitting and writing. So we can just imagine the depth and absorption that Maharaj has actually.
Yeah. Thank you for letting us know, because what I knew is last I heard that Maharaj told Sridama Prabhu and Kishori Mataji on Zoom that I'm doing cooking and cleaning, and I appreciate the gopis even more now. So I thought that's what he's doing, but amazing to listen
Yeah,
to this.
but he can do all these things also simultaneously. Maharaj
Yeah,
is like, he can. I'm sure that he does not sleep for like more than 4 hours a day, probably
yeah,
four
yeah,
4 to 5 hours probably. That's
yeah,
also maybe a higher end, but what I shared, but maybe 2 or 3 hours also, because he was not sleeping during New Vrindavan time also.
yeah,
Sleeping
yeah,
hardly sleeping actually when he was in New
yeah,
Vrindavan,
yeah.
completely like engaged in service.
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Maharaj. So yeah, shall I start?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so Prabhu, actually, I will just continue from where we are ending the conversation. The thing is, actually, for a person like me to speak about Maharaj, I'm not even qualified and worthy to speak about an exalted soul like Maharaj, who must be who is so dear to both Srimati Radharani and Krishna. Is like, although he's in this material world visible to our eyes, we know that he's directly serving them constantly. And uh, and of course, his surrender to Prabhupada, always when you hear his classes, be it Janmashtami class, be it Radhashtami class, he would never forget to mention about Srila Prabhupada. So that shows about how indebted he remains to his guru, and that is something that we can learn from. And like, I think Maharaj is an ocean of divine qualities. So many qualities are listed in Bhagavad Gita, and in the 26 qualities of a Vaishnav. Maharaj, he has them in unlimited proportions, I feel. uh, like I don't know, I can never imagine Maharaj ever being like showing arrogance or being exploitative. Even in his wildest dream, he would never even come close to something like that, although he has so much power and influence and command. But you'll see he's still so humble, so loving to his god brothers and god sisters. And like, I think I recently heard when it was the 50th anniversary of ISKCON and in Kolkata, and Prabhupada's son was invited, Vrindavan Chandra, and he wasn't given a slot to speak. So Maharaj said that, give my slot to him. It's okay if I don't get to speak, but he should, because he belongs to Prabhupada's family. So Maharaj doesn't care for any recognition or a chance to, uh, show his caliber or greatness. He's beyond all these things, actually. So, and in so many incidents, like I've heard that when in Chapati, sannyasis would come, Maharaj would give his own room and he would sleep in the temple hall. And one day, Gaurang Prabhu, in fact, he came to the temple from a preaching program, and Maharaj was sleeping where Gaurang Prabhu sleeps usually. And Gaurang Prabhu said, "Hey, kaun hai?" And then Maharaj murmured that, it's Radhanath Swami. So yeah, that is Maharaj, and we can learn so much just by observing his personality. uh, we hear about 12 Mahajans, and Maharaj is like a Mahajan amongst us. We can see him talk, although we can hear his Vani talking to him directly. We don't get that many opportunities. But yes, once I had asked Maharaj in London that how can I please you, and he told me just serve the devotees of the Lord and I'll be very grateful to you. So that is Maharaj's mood. He just wants to give. He doesn't want anything for himself. He's only a surrendered servant who knows to give, who knows to uplift others, to bring out the best in people, um, to engage each and everybody by seeing the spark in them. Because like we were useless and forlorn and rotting in this world, but great souls like Maharaj know that how even fools like us can be of some use to the moment. So yeah, I mean, for me, I think usually people thank Maharaj for giving them Krishna, but I thank Krishna for giving me an opportunity to know Maharaj in this life. I mean, just to know a person of his stature is a blessing in itself. Just to know him, and I mean, just to speak about him is purifying. Because thinking of a pure devotee is actually thinking of Krishna. It's non-different. So yeah, that is what I mean. For me, I can't estimate Krishna's qualities, and similarly, you can't estimate the qualities of a person like Radhanath Swami. So yeah, that's it, Prabhu.
Okay, I'm sorry. I think I was muted. Yeah, I was saying wonderful. Thank you so much, Mataji. So many nice points about Maharaj. You have shared. I think you have heard from many devotees and you have shared many things. So it was a wonderful offering to Maharaj. And you rightly mentioned about how we cannot estimate the qualities of Krishna and his pure devotees. In the Shastra also it is mentioned that Vaishnavera Kriyera Buddha Vignana Bhujai, that we cannot understand the mind of a Vaishnava or an Acharya. So yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much. I mean, if you'd like to share more, you can do it. We have time.
Well, I think I've just heard one statement that His Holiness Chandrasekhar Swami from ISKCON New York, he made once. He said, just like people are into collecting stamps, some are into collecting different currencies, Radhanath Swami is into collecting hearts. And
Yeah,
Dhanodhar Swami once said that although there are many sannyasis, Radhanath Swami is the king among sannyasis. And
yeah,
even I have heard even Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, who himself is like an eternal associate of Prabhupada, he told once ISKCON London temple president in Mayapur, he said that your guru, he is transcendental. So and like today only Maharaj was saying that when he was on that journey from different countries, he said it was humanly impossible to do it, but beyond a force, like beyond his own force, there was something Krishna was doing it through him. And so I feel sometimes, I feel I could, just like there is a Bhagavatam set, Bhagavatam should be in every home. And I feel even a journey home, or at least the story of Maharaj, should be known to everyone. Because he's such a gem uh, uh, walking between us.
yeah.
Uh,
So Bhagavatam and the person Bhagavat.
yes, exactly. Yeah, and there is one incident that I heard of in New Vrindavan, once Prabhupada had come, and he would usually give out cookies after his lecture. And that day there were no cookies made, and Maharaj was pujari there. He had done the offering, so there was the bhoga plate. And because Prabhupada asked when the lecture got over that where are the cookies, and they said, it's not here. So Maharaj thought that he will at least give him the what, because he had come for the first time and he wanted him to taste the bhoga, because I think Prabhupada used to go to different temples and would want to taste the bhoga. So first he approached, there were two people obstructing him from directly going to Prabhupada. So the first person said, no, he asked for cookies, he'll not accept it. And then there was a second person, his name was Pradyumna Prabhu, and Maharaj said that, let me offer this to him. And then he said, okay, you go. And then he made the offering to Prabhupada and he was very pleased. And then I think after some years, Pradyumna Prabhu from New Vrindavan, he left, and for 20-30 years nobody even knew of him. And one day Maharaj was giving class in New Vrindavan, and that's when Pradyumna Prabhu walked in. And nobody knew who he was, but Maharaj was so grateful to him for giving him that chance of offering that plate 20-30 years ago. He got up from the Vyasasana and he went and embraced him and asked him, "Where were you, Pradyumna Prabhu?" And
Yeah.
and now I heard recently from a devotee in London that the Maharaj was asking, there is a personal servant of Maharaj here, and he was asking him that you teach me how to use Zoom. So they said, no, Maharaj, we'll do it for you. So he said, no, you have to teach me, because I also want to directly know and connect to some special people. So this servant and the panel of servants wanted to know who these special people are. So he said that these are some 8 to 10 people who used to help me in my New Vrindavan days when I would go for college preaching. They would arrange a van for me and help me with
Yeah.
some prasad. So
Mhm.
Maharaj, now, I mean, he's such a recognized figure, but when he was not so famous, and those who did even small things for him, and he says that in his lecture that whenever somebody does something for you, you should be grateful for that, and that is Krishna's quality. But Maharaj also displays this quality of being grateful. So when whatever he's speaking in his lecture, he lives it every moment. And I've heard that, even if you may be a great you must have contributed greatly to the moment of Prabhupada, or you, even if you're a nobody, Maharaj has a equal vision, and he gives respect and honor to every living being, irrespective of who they are. So like it said in the Goswami Ashtakam, that he's Dhira Sajana Priyo. So that is Maharaj. He's, even the steady followers love him, and they are also, for them also, he is the most dear person. And even for those who may come once in a while to the temple, or who have just read Journey Home, but they still love Maharaj. So that's his endearing personality, because he's completely selfless. So yes, that's it, Prabhu.
Amazing, amazing. In fact, I would like to hear more and more, Nectar, if you want to share more.
Yeah, Prabhu, actually, yeah, we can just go on. I've heard yesterday there was an offering made by many Matajis from Chowpatty. It was like an unofficial program, and even the Mataji said that Maharaj would just see the person as a soul who can do various services beyond any gender bias. He would encourage women to take do cooking and serving, doing Rajbhog and going and preaching. He personally told Kishori Mataji to go give a lecture in SNDT. So he never distinguished between even like, those who are in female bodies or male bodies. For him, he's beyond these things, beyond the barriers of rich, poor, man, women, such things. And his famous quality of being a community builder. Everybody knows when they introduce Maharaj, they say he's a spiritual activist, a community builder. So, who else can be an example of how to build a community better than Maharaj? Because he has that family spirit, and he because he cares for every living being, he encourages others also to care for each and every living being. And there is one pastime I heard, that once there was a man who used to come drunk in the temple in 90s, I think 95, 96, and he used to smell of alcohol. And and then, but he had one talent. He would play very nice harmonium, and he would tell Maharaj, I will teach you different tunes of how to play harmonium. And everybody, some brahmacharis went to Maharaj and they said, he just comes, he sits all day, but we've never seen him chanting, and he's always smelling of alcohol. And that was the time when Chowpatty was getting very organized. Like, there were 10 guidelines for the brahmacharis, there was Vaishnav etiquette, different things were coming into place. And this man was smelling of alcohol, coming daily and personally sitting next to Maharaj. But Maharaj said, oh, Maharaj used to learn various tunes. So he said, Maharaj, I know about 1,000 tunes of how to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and I'll teach you. And Maharaj would personally sit with him and learn it. And then one brahmachari came and told him, Maharaj, we can't be allowing him, he doesn't chant. So Maharaj told that brahmachari that you chant on your beads, but this person chants on reeds. Reeds are basically those panels on the harmonium. Um, so, I mean, Maharaj is so non-judgmental, even for someone coming from such a background, like coming drunk to the temple. But Maharaj would personally give him his association. And then, of course, when the community started growing, he knew that he won't be able to accommodate so many people. So he started the counseling system. So, I mean, sometimes I have heard some people saying that, your guru doesn't give time. Not, of course, not the mature ones, but once or twice I have heard. But actually, Maharaj has given everything through his representatives in his lectures. Maharaj has given us more than he should be giving. He's extended and stretched himself beyond limit always. So how much grateful we should be to Maharaj, and take his instructions as our life and soul. Because when you are inspired by a person, you just want to give your life to a person like that. So I think it's so important to follow whatever he says, because saying nice things about him is one thing, but to live what he speaks is actually pleasing him. Because to praise someone like Maharaj is easy. I mean, anyone will see a person like him and say, wow, he's so great. To praise him is one thing, but to live what he speaks is another thing altogether. And that is what we should aspire for.
Yeah, wonderful. You are recollecting many leelas of Maharaj. So that's great. Yeah. So if we'll have more time, then definitely we will also. I mean, devotees can share a lot of pastimes of Maharaj. So let's now proceed. Thank you so much, Alisha Mataji. Wonderful offering. Wonderful sharing of Maharaj Leelas. Okay. So, okay, Anand Vrindavan Devidasi, I wanted to know if Anant Vilas Prabhu has shared his offering.
Yeah, he's giving. Actually, he's in bathroom, so he will give in 5 minutes. Maybe someone can speak.
Okay. So, Aritra Prabhu, are you ready now?
Yeah, I'm ready, but I'm just so so lost and absorbed in what Alisha Mataji has described. We never get to know these things. Maybe we never try to find out, but like this just makes the heart so just so close, so want to surrender to Maharaj even more. Thank you, Alisha Mataji.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, well, 1 second, I'm
I
just
have never
coming.
heard so many things. Yeah.
Yeah, yes, Prabhu.
Mhm. Yes, it was not. It was not just an offering. It was like enlightening us about the glories of Maharaj. He
Yeah,
extended himself. He's given everything he has for the welfare of others. And I like the that part. I'm not going to forget where Mataji was saying that I thank people thank uh, Krishna for people thank Maharaj for giving them Krishna, but she thanks Krishna for giving Maharaj an example to follow. That was really awesome. Thank you so much.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. So yeah, that actually Mataji gave me enough time to get back and get settled also. Okay. So it's just like my offering is just like a letter that I wrote to Maharaj. Okay, dear Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Radhanath Swami. So here's the letter. Here's how it goes. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances at the dust of your lotus feet, and all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Your words have been the guiding light in my spiritual journey. At every step of this journey, your words have inspired me to endeavor to take the shelter of the devotees and be their humble servant. Inspired me, but that's not yet happening. But he has inspired me a lot to do that. It's in my best interest. Okay. Honestly, it's pretty hard, but hearing of your extraordinary stories of dealing with your god brothers, with your disciples, and pretty much with everyone you have come across makes me want to follow in your footsteps. This year, like 2020, this year, I had the great fortune of volunteering at the Barsana I camp for the first time in my life. I had no idea how rewarding that experience would be. I felt so much satisfaction to work side by side the devotees in serving the wonderful Rajvasis, so dear to Srimati Radharani. I heard some heart-touching pastimes of how you, quote unquote, led from the front the devotees for yatras. Particularly the one that I remembered is the one to Uddhava Kyari. So, Premrasa Prabhu, you remember the incident Prabhuji was sharing? I'm forgetting his name now. Uh, who Prabhuji who was a
Satswarup.
doctor, like Satswarup Prabhu. So like how Maharaj was taking them on yatra through Uddhavakari, and there used to be so many thorns on the way. And Maharaj just said that as if he knew the exact path, he told the devotees to follow exactly his path in his footsteps. So I was thinking at that point, I was thinking that Maharaj was probably trying to set an example, like following in the footsteps of your predecessor, of your guru. So like that's just one thing. But then later on, when he explained that after a while, when they got to that little the shrine, I don't remember what that was, where we were standing like that concrete area in
The
Uddhava
deity
Kyari.
of Uddhav.
The deity of Uddhava, where that was. So over there, suddenly they couldn't see Maharaj for some time, and then after some time he emerged from behind a bush, and it turned out. So I don't remember what he said, but it turned out that Maharaj was actually taking out all the thorns that had um, got into his that had gorged into his feet, and he was bleeding. So what was happening essentially is Maharaj, as he walked in front, he was um, getting all the thorns, like he was kind of picking, letting the thorns prick his feet, so that the path for the devotees, for his disciples, would be clear, and they would not have to endure that suffering. So that really made me feel like so much um, love, and like feel like just marvel at his compassion, and his feeling for the devotees. So I was like overwhelmed by that. Okay, so that was like one incident, and then continuing from there. So Uddhava Keri, that used to be filled with thorns. So I was so overwhelmed with the extent of his humility and compassion. Okay, now in all your classes, which is pretty much the only way by which I have Maharaj's association, which is through his Vani. So in all your classes, you absolutely always mention Srila Prabhupada's words, instructions, and or pastime. I particularly remembered that one time when you described one of the ways Srila Prabhupada defined Krishna consciousness, which was to be, quote unquote, to be able to feel others' pain. Over the years, this has helped me appreciate, connect, and ardently take Srila Prabhupada's shelter. Through your lectures, I have realized the importance of surrendering to our Guru Parampara and never searching elsewhere. Through your lectures, I have been able to appreciate the holy dhams more and more than I have by being physically present there. Because honestly, I have just a handful of times I have, personally, physically been to the holy dhams, and even when I have been there, if I wouldn't have heard from Maharaj and his devotees, including you, Premrasa Prabhu, I would have just probably seen all the the negativities, the apparent negativities, or the material um, imbalances, and all the things that were wrong at the material level. Okay, if I wouldn't have heard of the glories of the dham being revealed by Maharaj. Then I says, a tree is judged by its fruits. That's a statement from the Bible. Seeing your disciples, one gets a confirmation of this statement from the Bible. You've trained your disciples so carefully, meticulously, um, and your disciples in turn have carefully guided me and several others to be able to nurture the seed of bhakti. I thank you for training them to be able to train lost souls like me. In my heart, I have accepted you as my eternal spiritual master. Your aspiring servant, Aritra. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol. Wonderful, Prabhu. Very nice. Especially you made the point about Maharaj sacrifice for his followers. So this is what Maharaj is actually showing by example, that the leader is not leading, but he's serving actually. And that, whenever the leader is taking us to a difficult task, then he's the first one to face the reaction and the results of that task. So he's, by this particular example that you have shared, how Maharaj actually personally uh, took all the thorns upon himself to make sure that the devotees will have easy journey. So that itself indicates that Maharaj is actually the best leader and servant also, and
Yeah.
he's also showing by example. So whenever leaders they lead from front. They don't lead from behind, and this is what also people in the defense are trained like that. Uh,
Mm.
the even we have the, like, there are different grades and categories of or ranks of soldiers. And like for example, the colonel, generally the colonel is the one who is actually the leader of the lower ranks. And whenever they go to fight a war, he's actually the one who is guiding, giving them affection, encouraging them, inspiring them to lead the war. But the most inspiring thing about the colonel is that he's not leading them from behind. He's leading them from the front, which means that he's the first person to face the enemy, right? So this is actually a classic example of a leader, perfect ideal example of a leader, that how Maharaj has been throughout his life, right from the beginning. So that's amazing. This is what actually, like my wife was sharing the qualities of Guru Maharaj. So one particular letter, she was saying that Maharaj is attractive. So he's not attractive because of his, I mean, definitely attractive because of his classes externally, in terms of sharing with so much enthusiasm and with so much compassion. But more than that is actually his internal character, which is attracting all the devotees to him. So this is a great glory of Guru Maharaj. And we are extremely fortunate, obviously, that we have a leader who is leading by example, not just by speaking. Um, yeah, so thank you for sharing. Uh, so there is, the unlimited glories of Guru Maharaj that have been shared by thousands of disciples, thousands of devotees throughout the world. And obviously, we have, if we had a lot of time, then definitely there are so many things that we can share about Maharaj. But it was a wonderful offering. So anything, yeah. So now this is your offering to Guru Maharaj. So you would like to share something more?
No, not really, Prabhuji.
Okay. Okay. Anyways,
It's
devotees,
not
they
that,
have.
yeah. Yeah, it's not that I don't I don't want to, but right now immediately like I don't have anything. That's nothing is like
Yeah.
spontaneously coming to my mind.
Yeah. So devotees can. Okay. So now I will be sharing my brother-in-law's offering, and after that I will also share something. So in the meantime, if devotees recollect something they would like to share, then definitely they can. They can just let me know, and you can share it. Okay, so this is an offering by my brother-in-law Anant Vilas Das, who is also Maharaj disciple. Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. Wishing you a very happy 70th uh, appearance day. On this occasion, every year I reflect upon your divine qualities and experiences, which truly inspires me. This year I was completing on the following. This year I was contemplating on the following. I think that is what he means. First, compassion. Due to the unprecedented times we have seen this year, most of us in lockdowns, and even you had been in Chicago almost all the year. You had taken this situation to extend yourself to so many people around the world by making them realize the need to go deeper into their own lives and giving emotional support to many others who have affected themselves by the pandemic. Second, power of prayers. In a recent lecture, someone had asked you a question that they have observed you often praying deeply and wanted to hear from you about this personal experience of you. You give such a beautiful answer. You gave such a beautiful answer. You said that no matter however insignificant we may be, but Krishna definitely listens to our prayers. This really touched my heart, and I also reflected this as a true quality of humility to always be dependent on Krishna. Third, serving Krishna in separation. I was feeling so much separation from India and the Dhams this year because we are not able to travel. In the recent Kartik Yatra lectures, you had elaborately mentioned about how the six Goswamis were serving Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Krishna in perfect consciousness and in the mood of separation, and how Srila Prabhupada himself taught us all by his example. This really convinced me that serving Krishna is not merely aspect of physical boundary or limitation. It's about our consciousness. Fourth, you speak about the absolute truth in such a palatable way. For example, so he's sharing one particular incident which is shared by Dr. Ashok Shetty. And I believe he's probably Adikeshav Prabhu. I'm not sure, but I think so. So I'm just sharing what he has shared. Radhanath Swami cuts a joke. Okay, so am I getting old? A thought sneaked into my mind. I was in my car returning from a festival that bubbled with enthusiasm, with young men exuberantly dancing in kirtan in a style introduced by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, a Bhakti saint on the 16th century. Through it all, I was feeling the opposite, unenthusiastic and sluggish. Now my intelligence figured out why. Perhaps I was getting old. Slowly, that thought snowballed, and I started feeling older and older and older, way beyond my years. My mind rolled towards old age faster than the tires. Soon I started imagining difficulties of old age mounting on my frail body. Finally, unable to bear it any longer, I expressed myself to my co-passenger, Radhanath Swami. I find myself out of the crowd and left out. All other devotees are so enthusiastic and strong. He looked really amused by the jokes my mind played on me. But as a remedy, he cut yet another joke. It was a witty one that sobered me up. Those who are young, they are very soon going to become old. But if you are not very enthusiastic, you are very soon going to become young again. Wasn't that deep? So this is something that was shared by Dr. Ashok Shetty, and my brother-in-law is giving an example that how Maharaj is speaking about, he speaks about the absolute truth in such a palatable way. Begging forgiveness for my offenses, your servant, Anant Vilas Das. Hari Bol. Nice, very nice. Thank you so much, Anant Vilas Prabhu, for sharing your offering. Okay, so devotees, do you have any comments on this? Okay, so I will read my offering, and I will also share my personal interaction with Maharaj, and I will also give certain, I will also share some leelas of Maharaj. Not many, because there are obviously unlimited ocean, but I will be sharing a few of them, which I recently heard. Okay, so I will be sharing, I will begin with my offering, which I had submitted this year. Dearest Gurudev, my most humble obeisances at the dust of your lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to you. All glories to the limitless and glorious services you are rendering to the Vaishnava community and to each and every living entity. On this extremely auspicious day, I thank you limitlessly for all that you have done for me. I know you are far apart physically, and I almost never got a chance to receive your direct instruction or direct association. But in the spiritual realm, distances don't matter much, because your connection with each and every disciple is through Srila Prabhupada, sadhus, shastra, and many other means, which is primarily based on your Vani. I do realize that as my Diksha Guru, you are tolerating so much on my behalf for the many anarthas I have, but still continue to shower your compassion upon me, due to which I am able to continue in my devotional practices. So in spite of being disconnected physically, and in spite of being separated, or in spite of being not receiving his association so much, but still Maharaj is actually able to, he's taking all our karma, and he's also tolerating so many anarthas that we have. So this is something that I just expressed to him. You perfectly represent Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur by always emphasizing on the essence of bhakti, which is mainly Namruchi, Vaishnav Seva, and Jeev Daya. So we know that how Maharaj, whenever he is giving class, his focus is primarily on these three aspects of Krishna consciousness. He is always asking devotees to take shelter of the holy name. You will see that Maharaj, in the beginning, in the middle, and the end, is always bringing the holy name somehow. And then he's also asking us to take shelter of the holy name. And then obviously we know that how Maharaj is asking all the devotees to loudly chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and then everyone is chanting the holy name. So in each and every class I have seen this. Maharaj is always speaking about the holy name. Second thing is, Maharaj is always talking about Vaishnava Seva. So from his personal example, service to his god brothers, he's always like a servant to them. He's always behaving that he's servant of all his god brothers. And he goes out of his way to serve his God brothers. Not just God brothers, what to speak of God brothers, but even his disciples. I remember one time I was sharing with Aritra Prabhu. So the way Maharaj has actually sacrificed, he was willing to go to any extent for his disciple, Anand Vrindavan Prabhu, when he was in a very difficult situation. Maharaj was willing to leave his temple, and he was packing up his bags just to make sure that Anand Vrindavan Prabhu does not leave his house. He's not because he was in death for a long time, and someone was going to come and occupy his house. So Maharaj actually made sure that Anand Vrindavan Prabhu does not somehow, they will not uh, take him away from his house. And so Maharaj decided that he will go to his house and he will obstruct anyone who would try to take Anand Vrindavan Prabhu away from his house. So, I mean, you cannot even imagine to what extent Maharaj can go for his disciple, what to speak of God brothers. So one can just imagine what he will do for his God brothers, right? That's infinite compassion Maharaj has for all the devotees, in spite of their in spite of their Krishna consciousness, in spite of their seniority in Krishna consciousness. So that's Vaishnav Seva. And then Jeev Daya. Of course, we know that Maharaj himself has extended himself to so many people throughout the world. And then he's also asking every one of us to preach the holy name, to share this message with others. We have seen this throughout his classes. So these three themes are extremely consistent in all of his classes: Nam Ruchi, Vaishnav Seva, and Jeev Daya. So Maharaj is most pleased when we do these three things. That is for sure. Okay. Then I have learned the foundational principles of Bhakti by hearing most of your old lectures from 88 to 1995. Those are truly precious and so important. Till date, I hear your classes as much as possible. Apart from this, you have also taught us the foundational principles of Vraj Bhakti, which is to always serve with the attitude of being a servant of others. In your personality, I also realize that you so perfectly represent Lord Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya's mood, and you exemplify that mood so deeply. What is truly inspiring is that you have taught us through your example to render all types of services and always be eager and ready to serve the devotees with any type of service. So this is also something phenomenal. We have seen from the personality of Maharaj that he's not just involved in doing kirtan, he's not just involved in doing preaching, but you will see that he's also involved in doing so many menial services, whether it is cooking, whether it is cleaning, whether it is he has when he was in New Vrindavan, he was given so many different services. Like, for example, he was also painting the temple building, and then he was also cleaning Prabhupada's toilets. And so what not Maharaj has done. And if we find in his journey home, there are so many examples of his menial service that he has rendered, and he's still rendering. Even till date also, whenever Maharaj will come to the yatra, it's not that he just gives classes. He will personally come to the kitchen, and he will also cook, he will also peel, he will also serve devotees. He will also make chapatis. Sometimes he'll sit down with the devotees and start rolling chapatis and all that. So Maharaj has created a perfect example of how a devotee should be. He should be ready for anything. As Alisha Mataji was saying, right? She was sharing that in Chicago also Maharaj is doing the same thing. He's cooking, he's cleaning, he's washing utensils, everything. So, and then Maharaj is also sharing that this is how he's actually realizing the greatness of the gopis, right? So this is something that Maharaj has been doing since a long time, and this is how he has also trained the brahmacharis in Radha Gopinath temple. So they are exemplary in that sense, because they are doing they are not just expert in preaching, expert in sharing knowledge, expert in giving presentations, but if you see at the background, they are doing so much wonderful services, so much menial services, and that is amazing. So this art of doing multiple things has been ingrained from Maharaj. All the devotees, disciples, they have ingrained from Maharaj that we should be ready to render every type of service. And then obviously we also see in Barsana camp how service to Vrajvasis. Now Maharaj himself is actually a Vrajvasi, right? And that's why he knows what is the mood of Vraj. He knows what is the mood of Vrajvasi. If you go to Vraj, you will understand what is actually a mood of a Vrajvasi. So Vrajvasi also does everything, and they will make the guests feel that they are actually the owners of the house. To that extent, they will serve, right? And so there are so many examples of Maharaj's dealings with the devotees, with his god brothers, with his servants, with people from outside. Maharaj has gone beyond his capacity to help them, to serve them. Yeah, okay. So in order to please Srila Prabhupada, what not you have done, and you are so deeply engrossed in Vraj Bhav. To conclude, you have taught us everything that we need to attain Vraj and Navadip by perfectly presenting Lord Chaitanya's teachings. For this, I am eternally indebted and grateful to you. My only wish is to serve and please you eternally. I know I am not doing that currently due to my own lack of devotion and so many anarthas that I have. But this is my ultimate desire, and I am willing to take birth after birth until I have satisfied you and my Gurujan completely. Your insignificant servant, Prem Rasdas. Hari Bol. So this is my humble offering to Guru Maharaj. Okay, so any devotees, they have any comments? Okay.
Prabhu, just one comment. You mentioned about how in Yatra Maharaj not just gives lectures and he tries to help in different other services too. There is one incident from the Pune Yatra time that the Yatra got over and everybody was rushing off and everybody was waiting for Maharaj and they were wondering, where Maharaj is. It was time to go. And I think it was Anand Vrindavan Prabhu or Krishna Chandra Prabhu who came to see. It seems that many devotees had just used the bathroom and toilet and left it unclean. So Maharaj was cleaning the toilet which hundreds of his disciples had used. And now this he could have just told anyone to do and nobody would have even noticed. He didn't do it to show his disciples that look, I am cleaning the toilet. Nobody was around and he was scrubbing the toilet seat.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean this incident also has stayed in my heart.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many examples. Like one time, I think there was a program, and maybe in a devotee's house, and all the devotees they were coming inside and they were removing their shoes and their sandals and all that. But so after the class got over, somehow obviously we will not notice all these things, but and we'll not even care about it. But after the program was over and everyone was going back home, Maharaj was, what he did, he went right to the shoe stand and he started organizing and arranging all the sandals and chappals and shoes in proper order and in proper place. So that was so amazing. He's so much concerned. He's so careful about smaller details, and he does everything perfectly. I do remember one more incident that I heard today itself, that Maharaj had gone to a place along with Radhesham Prabhu, Gaurang Prabhu, and Govind Prabhu. So Maharaj actually wanted to give them some mingle service. So he asked Govind Prabhu to, I don't remember actually what he said. He asked, I think to Govind Prabhu, he asked to clean the fan and everything. Then to Gaurang Prabhu, he said that you go to the toilet and clean it, something like that. I don't remember exactly. But I do remember about Radhesham Prabhu. Maharaj asked him to clean the wall very thoroughly. So then Radhesham Prabhu cleaned it. He was trying to clean it, and after a couple of hours, I think it took him about 2 hours to clean, because that how even Radhesham Prabhu, how perfect he is. So he will also, Maharaj gives instruction to Radhesham Prabhu, he will also go out of his way and try to please Guru Maharaj. So then he went and he was cleaning for almost 2 hours. Then Maharaj came. He saw very carefully, minutely, and then there was a small spot which was actually left by Radheshyam Prabhu. So Maharaj went and he took a sand scraper and then he tried to remove that spot with that, but then it could not be removed. So then somehow he got a machine, small machine, and then through that machine he was able to remove it completely. And then Maharaj said, okay, now this is finished, now this is done. So you see that how Maharaj is so perfect in everything, he's so complete in everything. He wants everything to be first class. So not even a small spot should remain. That is what Maharaj is actually. He's extremely he's a perfectionist by nature. So this is what actually Maharaj has trained all the devotees. Obviously, we cannot imitate Maharaj's stature, but we can learn from it, and we can also, according to our capacity, we can also try to do our best. Yeah. Okay. So if there are no more comments, let me continue. Okay, so now I will share some pastimes of Maharaj which I liked, which are my favorite, and just 2 or 3 of them. And then I will also share my personal experience, and then I'll also share that distances actually do not matter, which I've already mentioned in my offering to Maharaj. That yeah, I mean, definitely we desire to have association of Maharaj, and it is definitely very important also, because see, the most important element of association is basically to receive correction, to actually understand, to observe and to understand the advanced devotees dealings, the behaviors. Okay. And then this is actually the importance of association. It is not even about hearing classes on a regular basis. It is basically taking to it is basically correcting our faults and then making an attempt to rectify ourselves by observing the dealings, behavior, characteristics of a pure devotee. Okay, so this is actually the true meaning of association. So in that sense, yes, we want the Vapu of Maharaj, we want the Vapu of any advanced devotee, so that we can learn so many things from them. So that's why Prabhupada said that if you are not like fire, and if you associate with fire, you'll get burned off. So better not to associate with fire then, right? And if you want to associate with very advanced devotees, then you have to also cultivate that mood of being willing to surrender and willing to let go, willing to also sacrifice and willing to correct yourself. Okay, so I will share all these things because this is how actually advanced devotees, they associate, they give their association. It is not necessarily that they are limited physically. They can give us association in different ways also. So anyways, before that, I will just start sharing some of the pastimes of Maharaj. Okay, yeah. So I have just recently I heard Gaurang Prabhu's offering to Maharaj about the community building, which he was interviewed by the Hare Krishna television, and I think maybe some of you must have heard also. So one particular thing that was so important for me is that Gaurang Prabhu was sharing that when he was getting popular, he was becoming renowned in ISKCON and outside also, by giving kathas and by also coming in the Atma serial. He was a very popular speaker that time, and he was getting name and fame. So as soon as Maharaj got to know about it, he immediately wrote a letter to Gaurang Prabhu, and in that letter he actually is instructing Gaurang Prabhu that don't you ever think, just because you have become a wonderful speaker, does not mean that you start thinking yourself as an advanced devotee, and you start thinking that I'm better than others, or I'm better than any of the new devotees they have joined ISKCON. So the moment you start thinking, uh, you will get into Maya, and great people, even greater than us, they have also got deviated by this. So there are examples in Shastra where we know that Brahmaji, Indra, and then Lord Shiva, so they were all bewildered by the illusory energy of the Supreme Lord. the popularity of his disciple. He's mainly concerned about, he's giving shelter, he's giving protection to his disciple by advising, instructing him to be careful, right? So this is something which is very touching, especially for the disciples. And actually, truly speaking, this is what the disciple need to hear from one's guru. You cannot expect the guru to always praise the disciple. Actually, if you really want the mercy of guru, then the mercy starts in the form of chastisement. This is also Prabhupada said. He has mentioned this in his letters also so many times. Prabhupada always used to say that if you are really lucky, fortunate, then you will be receiving chastisement from Guru, because when the Guru is chastising means he is giving us he is basically showing us that he cares for us. And at the same time, most importantly, he wants us to advance in spiritual life. He wants to go to a higher level. Okay, so he is giving us opportunities to correct ourselves and to also advance. And if the spiritual master is not bordered, he will not provide that opportunity to us, right? So chastisement is actually a great mercy of the spiritual master. And because Maharaj is so concerned, he is so Gaurang Prabhu, because he's so dear to Maharaj, so Maharaj is actually showing his affection by warning Gaurang Prabhu about the outcomes of receiving name and fame. So it's something that is very instructive for all of us. Now, another incident I just heard today was amazing, phenomenal. So one time Maharaj was actually giving a class, and that class was based on the song of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, one of the songs of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And you know that how Bhaktivinoda Thakur is expressing himself in all humility, at the same time also criticizing all the non-devotees, that they are donkeys, they are monkeys, they are just going after sense gratification, enjoying this world, and they will go to hellish planets because of that. So Maharaj was elaborating on that song of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and there were many people from outside. So there was one donor in particular who had come for hearing Maharaj's class. So somehow, because Maharaj was using all these critical words, he got annoyed and he left Maharaj's class. He did not like it, and he left. So after Maharaj's class, Maharaj's disciples, they went to Maharaj, and actually they asked the donor to sit for the entire class, and they were trying to explain to him that this is, you please try to hear the entire class. Probably you will get some clarifications. You are just hearing a part of it, but still he was not convinced, so he left. So then later on they went to Maharaj and told him that Maharaj, actually one of the donors, he didn't like, and so he left. So then Maharaj started laughing. He said that I was thinking that everyone liked my class, but I just got to know that there's someone who didn't like my class. So Maharaj took it very jovially, that even if someone is not liking my class, that's absolutely okay. But then, see, now this is okay, a normal usual reaction will have that, okay, even if person does not like my class, that's fine. But he actually felt very guilty that because of me, someone left the class, and so I have done a disgrace to the parampara. Maharaj was thinking like that out of his humility. So what he did, he told the disciples, please give me his phone number. So they shared his phone number, and then Maharaj called that person, called that donor, and right from the beginning, he was in a very pleading mood, in a very guilty mood. He was begging forgiveness from that donor, that because of me your sentiments were hurt. So I beg your pardon. I beg your I'm really sorry for that. Please forgive me for that. And then later on, he started explaining the glories of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He said that actually what I was speaking, I was just sharing something which our acharyas, they have given to us. And then he also gave a description about who Bhaktivinoda Thakur is. So after hearing all this, there was a transformation in this person's heart, the donor's heart. But Maharaj, at the end, he said, kindly forgive me if you feel still offended, or if your sentiments are hurt. He asked for forgiveness, and then somehow Maharaj left. So he went, and then this person also, he started feeling a lot of guilt. He started feeling that, oh, what I've done. Probably I have misunderstood this sannyasi, and probably I have offended now. So he started feeling guilty now, and then he called up the devotees, the temple, and very desperately he wanted to meet Maharaj and to take his association, and to also convey to him that kindly forgive me for my misunderstanding. So then the devotees told him that, okay, Maharaj is not available, he just left, but maybe you can come on this particular day, so Maharaj will be available. So he went that particular day, and then he saw Maharaj, and then he went to Maharaj. Maharaj was sitting and chanting the holy name. So he went near Maharaj, and Maharaj immediately saw him and he embraced him. And then he said that I'm really sorry. Please tell me, how can I serve? And then this person started saying that, no, please, I beg forgiveness. Actually, I didn't understand you. So now let me, please chastise me. Please correct me for my misbehavior. Please instruct me something. So then Maharaj said, okay, would you like to chant one round today? So then obviously, he was in a guilty mood. So he sat besides Maharaj, and he chanted the entire Hare Krishna Maha Mantra one round, right? And then after this, he went to Maharaj. He said, okay, I have already chanted one round. So what more do you want me to do? And Maharaj said that, okay, will you chant this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra one round every day? So he accepted that. And so now gradually this person started chanting one round of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and then gradually over a period of time, 4 rounds, and then 8 rounds, and then 16 rounds, and then finally took initiation from Guru Maharaj. So this is actually how Maharaj cultivates devotees, amazing. So to what extent Maharaj can go, and a perfect example of always in the mood of being a servant, and never thinking that someone is his master or someone is his disciple, so I am the master, right? So he's always in the mood of service to everyone. It's a classic example of that. And I would also like to share something which is very important for all devotees, especially who do not have association with Maharaj directly. So last year I was hearing one offering by Vraj Prabhu, and in that offering he was mentioning that so we have heard about the ISKCON Nasik temple, how much popular it is becoming with time, and the congregation there is so enthusiastic, and there is so much expansion in terms of outreach also. And the credit definitely goes to His Grace Siksha Ashtakam Prabhu, who is the temple president. So one time Vraj Prabhu met Siksha Ashtakam Prabhu, and he asked him that, how do you manage everything? And Siksha Ashtakam Prabhu is also a very scholarly devotee. He has read Prabhupada books, he has read Acharya books also, and his presentation also very good. Many of his classes are also online. So he asked Siksha Ashtakam Prabhu, how do you manage? You don't have Maharaj association also, and you have such a big congregation there. So how do you manage everything? And you know what he answered? He said that actually it's a great mercy of Guru Maharaj that twice in a week he appears in my dreams and he instructs me, and that's how I am able to manage everything. So you see, even without the physical association of pure devotee, just by following the instructions, just by leading a pure life, how Guru will actually manifest, how Guru will instruct devotees. Okay, and this is not just for Siksha Ashtakam Prabhu, but for any devotee, any sincere devotees. If they are serving Gurudev, then definitely Gurudev will help them. Okay, and I think probably most of the devotees might have got dreams by Maharaj where he's instructing something to them or he's helping. So I also wanted to share a few pastimes of Maharaj which I also had experienced. So now I will start with my association with Maharaj in Alachua, physical association, and then I will also share something about my association with Maharaj through Vani, and how Maharaj also reciprocates back. Okay, so I met Maharaj for the first time in Alachua, in Gainesville, Alachua, and I think the first meeting was the one where Kalakan Prabhu had introduced me to Maharaj. Um, I think that was the first time. And then in Alachua, Nand Kumar Prabhu had introduced me to Maharaj. And then, yeah, so when we were staying there, that time, Maharaj came, like in the month of June, July, generally Maharaj will visit Alachua and Gainesville. So that time I had gone to Alachua temple. And then I had also very close relationship with Sesha Prabhu and Madhumati Mataji. So I requested them to ask Maharaj if he can instruct me, he can give some instruction to me, which I can follow. And so normally, like, I am supposed to ask to Maharaj, but I was feeling very shy because in the beginning days of Krishna consciousness, there was a lot of shyness, there was a lot of anxiety also when we approach the Guru. And we are also like not familiar so much with the culture and all that. So we are very hesitant and also we feel shy. So I was like, and obviously there's some sort of fear also. What will Maharaj say and how will he respond and all that? And what will I say, because when we are in front of Guru, we are completely blank. So I went to Maharaj. After the class, Maharaj gave a class, and then we all went to greet Maharaj. And so then Madhumati Mataji, because I requested her that please share, what I told you. So then she told Maharaj that Pratik is, your aspiring disciple, and he is looking for some instruction. And so Maharaj said that he's so attractive. Everyone wants to introduce him because there were so many Prabhupada disciples who had introduced me to Maharaj. So he was like, he's like, okay, I already know him now. So then this is what he said. And then he also gave me the instruction, and which I tried to follow, and definitely struggling also. So this is the first response with Maharaj. Then next day, and that time the Journey Home book was also released. So we wanted to get our books, personal copies signed by Maharaj personally. Okay. And so what happened is, actually I got sick that particular day. And then I requested Arjun Prabhu, and I think Naveen was also with him. I don't remember, maybe Naveen or Shrikant. But I was feeling sad. I was feeling sad that, I will not be able to give this book to Maharaj personally. And I wanted to actually appreciate to Maharaj what a wonderful book he has given to us. I don't think that I had read the book because it had just got released, but we had heard so much glories about it. And we also had seen some pictures and some excerpts from those books, that particular book. And so I just wanted to appreciate Maharaj also for that. So I went to Maharaj. I couldn't go to Maharaj that day. So I sent my book through Arjun Prabhu and probably it was Naveen Prabhu. So then they returned back, and Arjun Prabhu told me that, Maharaj actually took the book and he touched on his head, and then he gave it to me. And he also wrote a message for you. So I was like really stunned. Wow, that's amazing. So see, this is actually the way Maharaj reciprocates. He understands that if a devotee is unable to meet him personally because of some reason, then Maharaj also, he will reciprocate in such a way that it will make you feel that you are present, physically present that time. And then, especially Maharaj put the book on his head and then he gave it to me. And then he also wrote a wonderful message that, I think I've shared this message also in WhatsApp. The Maharaj wrote that, "Dear Pratik, my sincerest prayers and affection are always yours." So this is what Maharaj had written to me. And I was very, very fortunate, and I am feeling very blessed also that in spite of not being physically present, but Maharaj reciprocated in such a way that it actually made me feel that I was actually present, and he reciprocated with my feelings and desires. So that was meeting Maharaj. And then one time Shesha Prabhu had also introduced me to Maharaj like earlier. And he was informing Maharaj that how I was preaching and I was running the Friday program at Krishna House, and I was inviting a lot of students for it. And so Maharaj folded his hands, and then he bowed, bowed down, and he said, "I'm extremely grateful to you. Thank you so much." So this was Maharaj's humility, that, and I was not able to respond. I was thinking what to say. I mean, I was completely blank that time. But this is how Maharaj is actually reciprocating with insignificant devotees. That time I was not even initiated. It was like just 1.5 years for me. And obviously, it's a different thing that out of his unlimited compassion, Maharaj gave me initiation just in 1.5 years time. And that too, it was so, like till the last moment, I was actually in anxiety, because I had heard that I was recommended, and I was recommended by many Prabhupada disciples. At the same time, I had also been recommended by Gaurang Prabhu from India, because I had visited India. So when I went to Alachua, so this time I was in Tucson, and from Tucson I went to Alachua. So Tucson is like in the west coast. Alachua is Florida, which is in the east coast. So especially for the initiation, I mean, I had there was no confirmation from Maharaj and that he's going to initiate me. But yeah, multiple Prabhupada disciples had recommended me. And so based on that, I just felt that, okay, now I should take a chance. So I just went to Alachua. And then I remember one day before, the night before the initiation, I was talking with Shesha Prabhu and Madhumati Mataji, and then Maharaj was meeting his God brothers. He was like, whenever he comes there, he will meet his God brothers. So he saw that I was speaking with Shesha Prabhu and Madhumati Mataji. And then somehow I did share to Shesha Prabhu that, can you please, I'm not sure, whether Maharaj is going to initiate me or not. So is it possible, if you can ask Maharaj. So then when Maharaj came to meet Shesha Prabhu, so then I think in that conversation they did speak to Maharaj. He did speak to Maharaj, and then after his conversation with Shesha Prabhu, he turned his face, looked at me immediately, and he said, what he did, he just put his hand forward like this, and he said, "Give me your chanting beads." And I was like so happy. So basically, we know that, okay, during the time of initiation, we have to get new beads, and we have to offer it to Guru Maharaj, and then he will chant one round on those beads, right? So now it was such a mystical thing that happened when I was in Tucson. So I was chanting with my beads, earlier beads, which was made up of neem wood. We are not supposed to chant with tulsi beads before initiation, right? So now I was chanting in the temple, and just one day before I was supposed to leave Alachua, when I was chanting, that the beads suddenly broke. And then I was really concerned and disturbed that, is this some kind of is this a sign of some kind of negativity, or I was not able to understand this. But then I went to the boutique. There is a boutique shop in Tucson temple, and they had many beads. So I asked the temple president, Sandipini Mataji, that if I can get a new set of bead. And she said, yeah, of course you can go. And I was surprised to see that she only had tulsi beads. Okay, so there was no option. Then I had to take one of them. And so then I went along with that new beads just next day, or probably 1 or 2 days later, and went to Alachua. And now see, I had no idea that we are supposed to get new beads, right? And Maharaj, he directly asked me for my beads without giving me some time. And fortunately, I had those new beads, new Tulsi bead, that also Tulsi beads. So it was like very mystical arrangement. And somehow I felt very fortunate that Maharaj again bestowed his compassion. And next day, Maharaj initiated me. Uh, yeah, so this is about my initiation. Yeah, now this is something very important. Okay, let me ask devotees if they would like to share something. If they would like to, if they recollect something and they would like to, because a few more things I would like to share. So I want to give all of you good opportunity to speak also. So any devotees, they would like to share something. Uh, Aritra, are you speaking something? Because I think you are muted.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Now you are not muted. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm not. I was not going to speak.
Okay. So should I continue, or any devotee would like to share something? Okay. Uh, okay. Yeah. So I had the opportunity to meet Maharaj in Laguna Temple, Laguna Beach Temple, and that time, what happened is actually after my graduation, I was exploring different options, and suddenly some opportunity came to me to take the position of temple president at Baltimore. And so Kalakan Prabhu had recommended me for that. Although I was like, just 3 years old in Krishna consciousness. And so I was considering that position. And with regards to that, I was actually very confused because, I was confused mainly because of what career should I choose. Should I go ahead and take the position of temple president, or should I make my career? So I was very confused about it. Um, so then I went when I was in Tucson. So I went to meet Maharaj because he came to Laguna Beach, and he had plans to visit Los Angeles. He had also visited San Diego Temple. From San Diego, he went to Laguna Beach, and so in the San Diego Temple, I was assuming and expecting that Maharaj would probably recognize me and know me, that I am from Gainesville Alachua Temple, and my Siksha Guru is Karagan Prabhu. But to my utter surprise, Maharaj actually didn't knew. He showed that he didn't knew anything like that. Okay. So when I went to Maharaj, when I was in San Diego Temple, I went to greet Maharaj after the class, and then I told Maharaj that Maharaj, I'm having some difficulty, so I would like your help in this regards. Can you please help me? So Maharaj said that not today. Today is not a good day. So then uh, I was not expecting this kind of response. I was thinking that okay, Maharaj will say, "Oh, I am happy to see you." This is what we hear, that Maharaj, if Maharaj, you are like in some corner of the world, but Maharaj, many times he remembers. Okay, and then when he sees the disciple, he will go to the disciple personally, and he will also embrace the disciple, and he will also say that okay, I'm so happy to see you. What are you doing these days, and how it's going? But I didn't receive any kind of response like this, so I was definitely disappointed. And then next day I went and tried. I actually decided that okay, now after giving a class at Laguna Beach, there was a queue of devotees who were trying to meet Maharaj. And so I thought that okay, let me go at the end, because if I go at the end, Maharaj will have good amount of time and probably he'll be able to guide me. So then I decided that I don't want to go in the beginning. And so all the devotees greeted Maharaj, and then at the end I went. So now when I went to Maharaj and I told him, so he told me, the first reaction was he actually chastised me. And he told me that, why didn't you come in the beginning? You should have come in the beginning. Now you have only 30 seconds. Tell me what you want to say in 30 seconds. So I was like really scared, to hell, that okay, what I'm supposed to say now. I was completely blank also. And then so there was one Prabhupada disciple, Brigupati Prabhu, who is one of the transcendental book distributor, very hidden figure in ISKCON, but he is actually as equal as Vaisheshika Prabhu. He is just in the background. So Brigupati Prabhu is someone who has been distributing Prabhupada's books since a long time, since so many decades till now, and he has his own van, Sankirtan van. He's collecting all the books and he's also distributing along with his wife. So his wife was there and she knew my story. Okay, so she somehow I was not able to. So what I did is Maharaj asked me to speak in 30 seconds, to summarize in 30 seconds, and then I started from A to Z. I was trying to explain to Maharaj. So Maharaj, I was in India before, then I came to US, and then I took up aerospace engineering, and then Maharaj cut me off. He said, "Tell me in 30 seconds what do you want to say." And I was again scared. I couldn't speak anything. And so suddenly Mataji helped me. She said, "Maharaj, he's in a dilemma. He's recommended to be the temple president, and so he's considering that option. So what do you suggest?" And in the midst of that, the temple president of Laguna Beach also chastised me. He also told me that, what do you think of yourself? Maharaj is so busy and you're taking his time. So just convey to him what you want to convey in few seconds. So then when Maharaj heard that, okay, I have been recommended for temple president position. So then the temple president of Laguna Beach, but Maharaj was actually not in the mood of instructing. He was very tired. He was extremely tired. So he actually did not respond to it that time. But he did ask me that, who is your Shiksha Guru and what do you want to do? So I told him my Shiksha Guru is Kalakan Prabhu, and I would like to go ahead and take the position of temple president. So Maharaj said, okay, follow your heart. That's what he said. Okay, this much he said. And then later the temple president of Laguna Beach, he came and he apologized to me and he said that you should have told me personally that you have this dilemma. I would have personally spoken to Maharaj and asked him to give you time. So then he was kind, and then he spoke to Maharaj, I think, and then the next morning we went to Los Angeles temple. Now I was chanting my rounds inside the temple. I was very disturbed because the way Maharaj responded, the way he reacted, I was thinking, whatever I heard till now, I don't get it somehow. I'm thinking that, okay, I'm feeling that Maharaj he acted completely opposite in the manner in which what I've heard from devotees. So I was very disturbed, and I was also feeling that probably I committed offenses because I did not please my Guru Maharaj. He was upset with me. So then Maharaj, the moment I was coming out of temple, Maharaj when came from Laguna Beach, I offered my danvats to him. And then Maharaj took darshan of the deities, and then immediately he came towards me. And then Maharaj started speaking to me on his own. So I was like scared. I thought that I don't want to go now. What will I say? So then Maharaj came to me, and then he started telling me that, okay, so you want to be the temple president, huh? So then I said, yeah, Maharaj, this is what I'm thinking. And then so Maharaj took me along with him, and then we went for a walk. We went for almost I think 20-25 minutes we were walking, and Maharaj was also chanting. He was doing his japa at the same time he was talking to me. And then he started asking me questions. He started inquiring about my background. And then he actually realized that I am very inexperienced and very immature. So he told me that you are very immature and you are very inexperienced. And if you want to get burned off, then you go ahead. Okay. And he also told me that if you want to get married, then he indirectly told me that you should not take that position. You should not be dependent on temple. And if you want to remain brahmachari, then you can go ahead. Then you can do what you want to do. So he and at the end he also told me that whatever you do, you have my blessings. He told me that. Okay. So then I understood Maharaj's message. I understood indirectly, actually told me not to go ahead with this. And especially that if we want to be a grihastha, then we should not be dependent on the temple. We should always be independent. In fact, we should support the temple community, right? So this is what I learned from Maharaj's association. So now, what is the most important lesson to be learned from this? Is that you see, initially when I went to Maharaj, he gave me instruction, and then later on he also gave me instruction which was contrary to the first instruction, right? But now the second instruction becomes prominent, it becomes most important, and it is actually the desire of the Guru also, because he heard my background. Okay, he heard my background, he knew what was going on, and then so whatever instruction he gave after that, that was a matured instruction, that was the ultimate instruction. So many times, we have this confusion complexion in spiritual life, that if the spiritual master says something, that should be uh, inscribed as a line in the stone, but we have to understand that it's not necessary. Sometimes the spiritual master says something in haste, or maybe he may give a general instruction, okay, but unless and until he knows your background, he knows the situation, he may also change the instruction later on. And that's why it's very important to have guidance of Siksha Gurus also, because they are well aware of the situation and they can guide accordingly. So and then we also learn one very important lesson, that the Guru does not know everything. This is something very important to be learned, that the Guru does not know everything. You cannot expect the Guru to remember your name, to remember which temple you are connected to, who are your parents, what you are doing in your apartment. Nothing. Only Krishna, Balram. Even Balram was actually bewildered for some time. So you remember the Brahma Vyoman Leela, Balram was also bewildered, right? And he also could not figure out. But later on, when Krishna removed the illusion, then Balram actually understood everything. So now we say that Guru Tattva is Lord Balram, but Balram also couldn't actually understand certain things. And so it's not necessary that the Guru will know everything. So we should not expect that. If we expect that, then we will have a miserable time. We'll have a very disappointing time in Krishna consciousness. And this disappointment continued for many years, till the time when Maharaj was in Jagannath Puri Yatra, and we were not so. There were a lot of lack of knowledge and immaturity. And over a period of time, one thing that I've learned and experienced is that the Guru does not know everything, and the Guru wants us to also take shelter of other devotees, and also want us to make. He is expecting that we should also become independent in certain areas, not independent in the sense that okay, we are independent of the Guru. No, we are always dependent on the Guru, but we have to also make mature decisions. We have to also take guidance on our own. Okay, and we have to experiment the process on our own. We cannot be dependent, or we cannot go to the Guru for each and every small thing. So for major things, major important decisions, we have to take shelter of Guru. So many things I learned, and actually this is actually so important. See, you may get the mercy of Guru in terms of the remnants of the Mahaprasad of the Guru, or the garland of Guru, or some form of glance of the Guru, smile of the Guru, or embrace of the Guru. These things are all external. It's good that we are receiving these things also, but the most important mercy of the Guru comes in the form of the lessons that he is actually teaching us, so that we become mature in our Krishna consciousness. We understand things, we acquire knowledge from devotees, and we become mature in our understanding of Krishna consciousness. So then what will happen? Our faith will become very strong, and we will not be sentimental. We'll always see through the eyes of Guru Shastra. So this is what the role of Guru is. And the role of Guru is to give us Krishna, and Krishna is also the one who is actually giving us Guru, right? So that's why I say that Guru includes, it's a holistic concept. It includes the Siksha Guru and Vartama Pradaksha Guru also. So we have to relate with all of them equally. And so the Shastra also teaches us that Diksha and Siksha Guru, they are identical representation of the same Lord, right? So this is a very important principle that I have learned from Guru Maharaj. And this is about Guru Tattva. So this is the main function role of Guru Tattva. They want to make us acquire knowledge, to understand things as they are, and this is how Guru Tattva will reciprocate with us. Okay, so it may not be physical association, but through their Vani and through Guru Shastra. Okay. Okay. So now, regarding how we also get the association of Guru, I just wanted to share a couple of examples. So one time, so after initiation, within a span of 1 or 2 years, I do recollect that I had some wonderful dreams by Guru Maharaj, and especially one time on Nityananda Trayodasi day, in the morning, I had a dream that I was in I think it was Pune temple, NBC's temple, and I was with all the devotees in the Mangala Aarti. All the devotees were there doing Mangala Aarti, they were dancing and chanting, and then after that, prayers, we do Prem Dhwani, right? So that time everyone will pay Danvats. So Guru Maharaj also present in that. And so when Guru Maharaj paid his obeisances, I also paid my obeisances. And the moment I paid my obeisances, my head directly touched the lotus feet of Guru Maharaj. Lotus feet. Okay, that was amazing dream, and that too on Nityananda Trayodasi day. So we will have such kind of reciprocations from Guru once we try to connect with the Guru deeply. Then one particular dream I had is, now there are 2 dreams which I had where Guru is correcting us. Okay, he's chastising us through the dream, or he's also correcting us, reforming. So one time, see, now I have been chanting in Jew temple since a long time. I go to temple not now because of the lockdown, but earlier I used to go every day and chant in front of the deities. So I used to see the deities very carefully, and if there was some mistake or some misarrangement, then I would tell the pujari that this something is wrong, it's not proper and all that. So he used to close the curtain, and then he used to change things, and then he used to open, and then I was happy. And then so generally what happens is that if this keeps happening repeatedly, then we also develop some kind of pride that, okay, see, I am the one who is actually telling the pujari that something wrong is happening, and then you guys are not even observing the deities properly, right? So that kind of mentality will creep in. So one morning I had a dream where I was chanting, and then Guru Maharaj was in the altar, and then something fell off from the deities. So then I told Guru Maharaj that, Maharaj, something has fallen off from the deity. So then Maharaj said, oh, really? Okay, let me check. And then he closed the curtain, he did something, and then he opened. And then he folded his palms, and he told me that, okay, if there is anything, then please correct me. So now, after this dream, I got a message that this is a dream where Maharaj is actually humbling me because it's the same way how the pujaris also do. And Maharaj also, just everything same, the curtain opening and then closing and then reforming and changing and coming to me and, telling me. So I got a message that, okay, I have to be like, I should not develop pride, and I should always be humble. And I should not unnecessarily try to find for like some kind of misarrangement with the deity altar. So this is a message I got. Another dream correction dream I got is, so one time I was telling, actually, initially, I was having arguments with my wife about certain things. So I was telling her, and I was instructing her that you should have certain etiquettes. You should not speak like this. You should be aware of the Vaishnava etiquettes. So I was telling her like that. And so that particular afternoon, when I went to sleep for some time, so that the same, the moment I told her, and then when I went to sleep, the Maharaj again appeared in my dream. So this time we were sitting in a table, and there were some devotees on one side, and my wife was also there, and I was also there. in the front. And so Maharaj looked at me and said that, okay, so you are familiar with Vaishnava etiquette, right? So can you tell me something about Vaishnava etiquette? That was so funny. And the dream got disappeared. So then I said, okay, wow, this is another major correction by Maharaj, that I should be careful. And I should, I have so many anarthas, and I'm lacking, I'm also not exhibiting so many etiquettes, but I should, and then I'm instructing my wife, so I should be careful that first I have to reform myself and then try to reform others. Okay, that is also, and another I recollected, another dream actually, this is the dream that my wife got. So, like in the initial stages after our marriage, there were a lot of misunderstandings and, you can say that arguments and fights and all that. So then one time, when we are going to Jagannath Puri Yatra, so that time in the morning, yeah, so we were sleeping, in the morning, and then uh, my wife got this dream of Maharaj, where Maharaj appeared to her and he told her, uh, so yeah, so he told her, this is amazing. He told her that, okay, what do you think of your chanting of more than 16 rounds? Okay, it does not impress me. First, serve each other and then see the effect of your chanting. So that was amazing. So, she told me, that Maharaj actually has told us that we have to serve each other, because that time we had a lot of arguments and all that, misunderstandings and all. So that was another powerful instruction by Maharaj. So see, this is the way Guru will actually reciprocate. This is all Guru Tattva. Now, if you ask Maharaj that, Maharaj, did you appear to my dream and did you instruct me like this? Maybe Maharaj might not know about it, or maybe he may know also. Like I do remember one example of Giriraj Maharaj, when when one of his disciples, he had shared that one time Giriraj Maharaj appeared to him in a dream, and he said that, I want to give you 6 instructions, and Maharaj gave him 3 instructions, and then he told him that remaining 3 I will give you next time, and the dream disappeared. Maharaj disappeared from the dream, and then when this disciple met Giriraj Maharaj, so then he shared with him that, Maharaj, did you appear in my dream and give me these instructions? And he said yes. And then he said, okay, so what about the remaining 3 instructions? And Maharaj said that I will give you next time. So that's so funny, right? So now, so this is how actually Guru will. So sometimes the Guru will know what he has instructed in our dream, and sometimes we may not even be aware of it. It's all arrangement of Guru Tattva. So this is another dream. Then so we have got dreams like this many times, and it is definitely causeless mercy of the Guru. But I just wanted to also make make you all be aware that I'm not trying to promote a dream world here, where we are just waiting for the Guru to come to our dream and instruct us something. No, this will happen automatically and it will be relevant. Okay, it's not necessary that each and every dream is right. So sometimes certain dreams may be a combination of the combination of our conception or mentality or whatever we are thinking. Okay, it may not be necessarily connected to our circumstances. So those dreams, it's not necessarily that true. Okay, that's why we cannot live in the dream world. And at the same time, Prabhupada also made sure that you have to confirm the dreams with your spiritual master. Okay, so now in these particular circumstances, Maharaj is actually teaching us certain things which are right, which are relevant. So we can take the instructions as it is. It's not even necessary to confirm with Maharaj. Okay, but if your Guru will come in a dream and he will say something which is very contrary to what you are doing, then definitely you can consult and confirm with Guru, right? So these things we have to be careful. I'm not encouraging devotees to live or to get inspired only by dreams. What is most important is that even if we are getting dreams, but then are we taking more commitment, more responsibility for Guru's mission? Are we surrendering to him more? That is more important than just getting dreams, right? But I'm just sharing all these things so that all devotees who don't have association of Maharaj, they can realize, they can actually also understand that Guru is not just about physical association, it is tattva. And that tattva will also manifest, it will also reciprocate with us. Okay. And that's why Prabhupada said that as soon as you try to surrender to spiritual master, you get in touch with the Paramatma. And that's possible because the Guru will put you in touch with the Paramatma. Okay, so this is a very important factor. Okay, so now the ultimate dream, which I got a few years ago. So now when my grandmom expired, she passed away from this world. So I was feeling very disturbed, and I was also feeling guilty about many things, especially my behavior with her. So I was very guilty about it, and I wanted to share with Maharaj that Maharaj, my grandmother passed away, and fortunately she had she passed at the day of Vishwarup Mahotsav, which is the Purnima, and the day when Prabhupada took sannyas. So it was a very auspicious day, and then she's so fortunate, she got Radha Kund tilak on her body, and then Radha Kund water and tulsi, and cow dung also smeared on her body, and sandalwood paste, gopi chandan also, along with Ganges water. Everything she got, everything, which even a devotee like me will wonder that will I also get all these things. so my and then most importantly, she got the Maha garland of Lord Chaitanya from Jew temple. So all these things she received, and I was feeling very happy that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gurudev is actually reciprocating, even though they are not present. But I was also praying to them, and then so after a few days, I went to the eco village because there was some seminar on book distribution, and then it was my birthday, and I was thinking whether I should share with Maharaj because they also had GBC meetings going on. So next day morning, I was sitting for the Bhagavatam class. I was thinking what to, what should I do? Should I share or not? And then suddenly Maharaj came from behind, from Prabhupada's Vyasa son. I don't know how he saw me. He saw me and then he just patted me like this on my back. And then he went ahead and he sat down for the Bhagavatam class. So I was like really thinking that, not a single time Guru Maharaj has done like this. So why today he did like this, suddenly. So anyways, so then I was thinking, should I share or not? Should I share or not? But then I was not able to share with him. And then I was also like, I was also thinking whether should I share that it's my birthday and my grandmother also passed away. Please pray for her. But I couldn't share anything. So then I returned to my home. And surprisingly, it was amazing, phenomenal. Next day morning, I'm getting a dream. Guru Maharaj appears to me. He tells me that, oh, it's your birthday. So he embraced me. He embraced me twice. And then he also said that, he said that your grandmother had my full blessings. So such amazing, amazing reciprocation. So from that point onwards, I really felt that, Maharaj is reciprocating, is reciprocating so wonderfully with all the devotees, all the disciples, and out of his causeless mercy, his compassion, even though we have not done anything, like if I have not done anything significant for him, but still he's reciprocating, he's still rewarding to us. So I was so happy, because Maharaj said that your grandmother had my full blessings. So you see, even without telling him, how Guru understood, how Guru knew, and then in the dream he actually revealed to us. So these are some of the reciprocations of the Guru Tattva, and I'm extremely like obviously speechless. What to say about receiving or getting Guru Maharaj as our Guru? It is some causeless mercy also, because I am definitely way far from a standard of being a devotee and like not doing anything for him. But it is just that Guru Maharaj is actually bestowing all his mercy. We know for sure that whoever Guru Maharaj will accept, he will eternally love that person. He will never leave that person. So this is actually the glory of our Guru Maharaj, and we are so extremely grateful to him, infinitely indebted to him, and yeah, I pray at his lotus feet that we just try to please him in this life or the next life. That is the only desire, just to satisfy him and to please him. Okay, so with this, I end my offering. And so if other devotees, they have any comments or if they would like to share something, then they can.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for sharing all the wonderful pastimes and dreams that you gone through. It was very nice, and all the devotees for offering. Thank you very much. It was very clear.
Thank you for taking time out and hearing all these things.
Prabhuji, can I just ask? You told that first time Maharaj gave you some instructions. You asked for some instructions. So what was the instructions that he gave you? Good to share.
Yeah, so it was not a private instruction. That's why I can share, because he openly said, and it was a general instruction also, but at the same time, it was personal. He said that do some powerful chanting. That's it. And you know, we definitely understand that this is a general instruction, because I was not directly involved in serving Maharaj, or he was not like overlooking my projects or my services to give me a specific instruction or a you know, or a detailed instruction, right? It was, so this was a general instruction, but this instruction itself is actually also very important. So I can remember myself that my guru has asked me to do some powerful chanting, and so I should try to do. I should try to chant as attentively as possible.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Aditya Prabhu, you would like to share something? Are you there? Haribol, Aditya Prabhu, are you there? I think, yeah, he's probably not there. Okay, all right. Swati Mataji, you have anything to share? You would like to share something?
No, Prabhuji.
Okay, all right. So I thank all the devotees for joining during this very auspicious occasion of Guru Maharaj's 70th Vyasa Puja. And we hope and pray for his continued association and his health also. And I wish and pray and that we always keep serving him and pleasing him. So, all right. So thank you all the devotees for joining. Hare Krishna and Dandavat Pranam to everyone.